Hey, welcome into the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show for girls. I'm Maurice Patton, that's Chris Yao, and over the last week and a half or so, we have been to virtually every campus in the Main Street Maury coverage area, speaking with coaches, watching a few practices, getting a feel for the upcoming basketball season. And obviously there's a lot of excitement because everybody's just getting started.
Yeah, everybody's 0-0, so hope springs eternal.
Well, not everybody.
Well,
most everybody by the time you see this, yeah. Games start this week for TSSAA members. Zion Christian got their season started late last week. Few teams will have played Tuesday night, but for the most part, everybody's just getting underway.
yeah, we're looking forward to this season, man. We've got a lot of great basketball teams in this area. A lot of teams who feel like they can make some noise throughout the regular season and postseason. So I'm looking forward to getting started.
Absolutely, looking forward to seeing some of these teams early on. We saw some teams late last year that closed out with some excitement and showing some potential for what they're going to be able to do this year. And so it's time to get back and see what it brings.
Yeah, it is. And, obviously we thought, which, historically speaking, Loretto and Summertown typically find themselves deep in postseason runs, and no different last year. But fell just short of the glass house, so obviously those teams will be looking forward to get back. And luckily for Loretto, they've got some firepower coming back.
Absolutely. They've got some firepower coming back. Summertown, maybe not as much, but they've still got the pedigree, in AAA. In 4A, one of the top scorers in the area returns in Quinn Johnston from Summit, a North Greenville signee who hit 118 threes last year. One of the top numbers ever, I think, in state history for a season. Columbia Central brings back Savia Morgan and that undersized but scrappy defense. Really looking forward to seeing them play this year.
Yeah, Columbia Central is going to be really, really interesting to watch. Like you said, Savia Morgan coming back after 10.7 points per game last year. Not quite in the top 5, but could certainly find her way in there at some point, because she creates so much on defense.
Exactly. And if you're behind her, you're not going to catch her. So
let's take a look at the top 5 scorers.
All right.
Allie Weathers of Loretto is the top returning scorer, 17.3 points per game. And then, as you mentioned, Quinn Johnston, 15.8. Pretty easy to score, around 15 points a game if you hit 118 threes in 29 games.
Yeah, when you're getting 3 on one shot, it makes it a little easier.
It does, in fact. And then Addison Workman, 13.7 points returning this year for her senior year. And Lainey Weathers rounds out the top 5, I believe. No, that's 4. 4 at 12.2. And Savannah C. I was
like people with an S.
Gotcha. Savannah C with 10.9 rounds out the top 5. And again, Savia Morgan is 6th on that list. So she's right there.
Yeah. I don't think offense is going to be a lot of a problem for a lot of these teams. And again, I just keep coming back to Columbia Central because, they do have such dynamic athletes over there, starting with Savia Morgan.
Well, and coming off of a pretty impressive, district run last year.
They won their district tournament. They lost in the region semifinals. That kept them out of a sectional berth, and I think they're hungry to take that next step under Megan Moore. So we will hear from her, among others, here in a bit. One thing we need to touch on. We had some coaching changes.
We have had some coaching changes. Obviously, the more things change, the more things stay the same. But, I feel like in this area, you go up to Summit and we'll hear from a new coach
Who's an old
coach.
Exactly.
And others. So John Wild leaves Summit, goes to Santa Fe, and creates an opening there. And Hal Merle steps in the role, which, again, we talked to him about all of that later. So I'm looking forward to that conversation.
As well as, visiting with new Columbia Academy girls coach Candace Withrow, who has been at the middle school level. So she's got some insight into some of their young players because she previously worked with them.
That's right. And then Zion Christian is a first-year coach as well.
Yeah, so, youth being served both on the floor and, in some cases, on the benches. We'll be talking more to some of those coaches when we come back.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Hey, welcome back to the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. We are at Culleoka visiting with, we call her the kindergarten coach, Catherine Upshaw, because by day she teaches kindergarten over at
it's here now. Yep, I've been here. This is my second year here now.
Oh, so you're in the building.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Time flies when you're having fun. So this
sure
is your
does.
third year.
It sure does. This is my third year teaching. Yes, and coaching.
Okay. But you still are you still teaching kindergarten?
Yeah, I'm still.
Okay, so we're still accurate.
Teacher of the year for kindergarten. Yeah.
Take
Nice.
that.
That's pretty cool.
Molding
Pretty cool.
young minds.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome.
guess so. I guess that's what you call it.
So what's the transition from kindergarten to high schoolers?
The transition is great because sometimes, my kindergartners are great. My basketball girls are a little wild. I kind of tease with them, which one's my kindergartners today.
That's
Yeah. But I love the transition. I love hanging out with my I call them my little besties. My little besties all day, and then coming in here and kind of getting more close in age.
Semi-adult conversations.
Being able to talk to them and coach them and navigate what they're going through kind of as well.
I'm so far removed from kindergarten now. We were talking about getting something set up with you, and he was saying that we could catch her during nap time.
We don't do nap time.
That's what I was wondering.
I said I don't think they
No
do it
time for
anymore.
nap time.
No time for nap time.
For nap time.
Too much to do, huh?
Yeah,
Is
too
it
much
still
to do.
half a day?
I know it's full day. It's normal day. 7:30 to 2:45. Sorry.
Oh, those poor kids.
Yeah.
Nah,
they do
they have
great.
fun.
They are asked a lot and they do a lot.
Good
Yeah.
for them.
Sort of like
they're
your
great.
basketball team, huh?
Sort of like them. Yeah.
Now that you've been here for a couple of years, you kind of got a feel for this district. You got a feel for your program, that
Yes,
kind of
sir.
thing. What are you looking for out of this team this year?
I just got done telling somebody, I think it was this morning, that this team I have right now, since I got to work with them a little bit last year, kind of get my freshmen last year kind of in the high school situation. It's a lot different from middle school, and they were good in middle school. So I kind of got them used to a whole season of basketball. And this year, I can't wait for y'all to see them play because they're comfortable. They work well with each other. They have just the mindset of winning and that they can. They believe in themselves this year.
Well, and it's interesting because as we look at the state tournament Final Four soccer team picture on the wall, the volleyball team had a really successful year in the regular season. So winning in girls sports right now is becoming a little bit of a mindset here at Culleoka. These girls are starting to believe. How much of an impact does that have when you don't have to worry about, hey, you can do this. You can actually coach instead of trying to motivate.
That's what I tell you. About 90% of the talks we have in there is believing in themselves, believing in each other, and it's usually not strategies to go over because they know they're girls, they're fast learners. Not saying anything against girls, but girls are fast learners, so it's easier to put X's and O's and then be able to get it. So most of our conversation is about believing in yourself. This is a team. We work together, and so it's different. As it's shifting, it's different to not put that much pressure on that.
Sure.
And I'm more strategies.
So, like he said, volleyball had some success this year. Soccer has had some success the last couple of years. How many did you get off of those two teams into basketball? And how does that success, bleed over? That belief, that it's kind of contagious, I would think.
It is, and I think it's you get so used to winning. I tell them I hate losing more than I love winning, but once you get a feel for winning, that's all you want to do. So, and we have several girls that play soccer and volleyball. I think at the top of my head, I want to say 5 combined together.
I would imagine, the physicality of softball maybe and just the activity of volleyball kind of helps on the floor.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Who are some of the players that we need to, be paying attention to this year? Obviously, you guys, have a little more leadership.
Yeah, well, so I was thinking about that question when you sent it to me, and it's hard to say. Of course, Macy's a great player, on and off, basketball, volleyball, whatever you put that kid into. She is athletic and she is good. But this year, I have several people that I could spit names right now, but I don't want to put that pressure on them. Does that make sense? Unless you really want me to name them, I will. But
no,
it's and I'm.
Well, we
I'm
don't want to necessarily put pressure on people. We just want folks that are watching and listening to kind of have an idea of who to look for when they watch Khalil.
It could be anybody any given night.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I can't mark a specific one because I have so much talent on this team, and I'm excited for everybody to be surprised.
She's jumping out of her shoes over here. She's so pumped
really
about
is.
this. She's like, this team is really, really good. I am really excited about coming down here now and watching this team because I'm getting the energy here.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
There we go.
Yes,
it's going to be a lot of fun.
Kindergarten coach Catherine Upshaw. No, teacher of no. Teacher of the year. Is it
for elementary Calliope?
Elementary.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Somehow, some way, because there's amazing teachers here, and I don't know how.
Now, will they like put you forth for Maury County Teacher of the Year or anything like that?
I don't know how.
Yeah, you just keep moving on.
I guess.
Until you
That's
become
awesome.
National Teacher of the Year.
We're worried about basketball season.
All right.
So,
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
They don't sell tickets to kindergarten, huh?
No. I don't know if you want a ticket.
I don't know.
It might be pretty entertaining,
like
though.
A zoo.
I mean, if you ever want to pop by, just let me know. I think we got some fools. Yes, sir.
We'll have more after this. Welcome back with more of the Main Street Maury High School basketball preview show. I'm Maurice Patton, and in the hot seat here is Columbia Academy first-year girls coach Candace Withrow. Coach, first, appreciate you taking some time with us. First year, team has had some success, but had a little upheaval last year, I guess. What is your first objective? What was your first objective in taking this program over?
As you know, we are a young team. We lost several seniors last year. But in saying that, I'm excited about it because we have a fresh start. I have had most of these girls in middle school. So currently previously I was the middle school coach. Mm-hmm. So I've had all of them except for 2 in middle school. So they kind of know what I'm about. I'm looking forward, just excited about the season. I like a challenge. I think just a good fresh start for everybody is sometimes what it takes. And I've got a lot of good energy, the girls. So I'm looking forward to it.
You mentioned you coached. How long were you at the middle school?
3 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So most of these girls, like you said, you have seen previously, and they know you. How did that impact the transition?
Absolutely. I felt I already had a relationship with them, and just being a female to female and just seeing their growth too. It's just a good, well,
That's
cut,
okay.
cut.
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 Listen to you.
Yeah,
Young team.
yes.
How is that going to show up, or what are the benefits of being young? Maybe.
The benefits, yes, of being young, there's always room for growth. And this team, they are eager, they're dedicated, they are hardworking, a lot just outside. I can only do so much with them, right? An hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's what they put in on outside. And they do that. They do a good job. I think I'm excited to be able to kind of help mold and just see how they work with each other and building that camaraderie. I'm big on, not one person can win the game. So we've got to work as a team. Being a young team, I think everybody has to have a job and a role. And I think it's just making that clear for them that everybody has a part, everybody buy in. I think we'll have a success that way.
When you have a young team, it makes the older players that much more pivotal. Who are those players that you're going to be leaning on particularly?
Absolutely. Allie Ballard is our senior this year.
Singular.
Singular. That's exactly right.
Our senior.
That's exactly right. Our senior. She's a great leader. She is very consistent and loyal. And so I'm excited to have her as our senior. We've got 2 juniors. So again, we're young and fresh. So I just look forward to seeing what we can do.
When you have that many underclassmen, 1 senior, 2 juniors, you're kind of playing the long game, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Yes, sir.
So you're going to see a lot of young kids on the floor.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think they're ready for that. I think we've got even younger ones coming up that are we have a good little wave here. 4th, 5th, 6th grade, we're trying to create a program here that people are excited to see and kind of just make a good wave, a good transition from middle to high school by working with our middle school. I've got my assistant coach is also my middle school coach. So we're trying to be a little cohesive there where we're trying to blend. So it's not so much of a divide, so.
And bridging that gap, I guess, is a little easier since you're just now coming from the middle school program.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I kind of started it, and it kind of is nice to roll over now to the high school. So now I'm getting that transition for myself, right? And just kind of keeping that going. So hopefully it'll be, a nice transition. Yes, sir.
Great. Candace Withrow, first-year Columbia Academy girls basketball coach here, joining us here on the Main Street Maury High School basketball preview show. Stay tuned for more. We are now visiting with second-year Spring Hill girls basketball coach Rod Ramsey. Coach, thanks for taking some time with us.
No problem, man.
As you get close to the season, what are your expectations after what you all accomplished in year 1?
Definitely looking forward to progressing with the young players that we have. 3 freshmen started last year at various points of the season. We'll probably have 3 more freshmen this year that contribute a lot on varsity. We're not filled with a lot of upperclassmen, so it's a learning experience, but I'm ready for it.
3 freshmen last year started. 3 freshmen are going to contribute this year. So basically what you're saying is the coach has to be patient.
Very true. Very true.
How coaching that much youth has to be a little bit of a challenge.
It can be at times, but most of the ones that will be playing varsity have played for me either last year or during spring, summer ball prior to coming.
Okay. And, with all due respect, I'm not sure patience is necessarily in your repertoire. You're a very competitive guy.
Yes, I'm competitive, but in coaching, the abilities of your player. So when you see they can do something in practice or in previous games in the previous years, you expect them to play up to that potential all the time. But yes, definitely we'll need more patience this year. But I'm not taking a step back. I don't think we're going to have a fall off or drop off from last year's team. From the previous year, they won 4 games before I got here. We doubled that last year, and we're looking to extend on that more this year.
You made a point that I've always kind of been fascinated with in athletics. When you see somebody go out that averages 6 or 8 points a game and they go for 25 one night, and it's like,
where's that been?
Exactly. Yeah. How do you temper that with, okay, maybe they're improving, but yeah, that maybe it's somewhere in between, or maybe it is 25 a game. Maybe that is actually their capability on a regular basis.
More consistent basis. Yes. So last year, give you an example. My daughter Mariah, her highest game score of the year was the last game of the season, in which she scored 25. So she progressed, as all of them did, from the beginning of the season to middle to the end. We got better as the season went on. So what she did towards the end of the season, I'm expecting her to build on this year. Not just her, but the other freshmen that played a lot on varsity as well.
One of those sophomores that you've got that contributed a lot last year as a freshman is Mimi Goodman, a post player for you.
Yes.
And she, the couple of times that I saw her last year and in volleyball this year, she is a presence.
She is.
How do you take advantage of that?
This year it will be easier because she was hurt the whole season last year. She was playing 50% because her knee was messed up. So she took some time off and did some rehab in the summer. So she's injury free. So that will be really good.
Besides Mariah, besides Mimi, who are some other folks that you're going to be looking to for contributions, for production, for leadership, that kind of thing on a young team?
Jacelyn Brashear, JC Brashear. She is our returning leading scorer, leading rebounder, led us in blocks. Alasia Harrison, another sophomore guard that started a lot of games last year. Expecting a lot from them. Leadership-wise, Penelope Phillips, she's a senior, also a soccer player. This is her 4th year in this program. She has really good leadership on the floor. She's good with the players.
This is a district and a region that isn't very forgiving. I mean, how do you expect to go out and compete on a nightly basis with this bunch?
I think we'll be able to. As long as they play hard, play together, play smart, we'll be competitive. We will be competitive. And some of the teams we played last year, the first time we played them, we may have lost by 40 or 50 points. A couple of those games, the second time we played them, it was a lot closer.
Mm-hmm.
So experience is key all the time.
Experience and improvement.
Right.
Rod Ramsey looking to get it done here at Spring Hill High School. Stay with us for more here on the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back to the Main Street Maury High School basketball preview show. Chris and I are visiting with Independence girls basketball coach Tony Hill. Tony, just tell us a little bit about what your expectations are coming off of last year. You guys were just a little under 500 with a relatively young team. I mean, what are you seeing thus far, and what are you expecting?
Well, we've had a good week of practice. We've had 4 good practices this week. We've got the majority of our kids back from a team that finished 3rd in our district last year, coming off back-to-back region tournament appearances for the first time in a long time here. We hope to turn the corner this year. We hope this is my 3rd year here. We hope this is the year that we turn the corner and can really challenge some people for the upper half of the district. Time will tell. I think you got to have a little bit of good fortune in there. You got to stay healthy. You got to continue to progress and continue to get better each night in practice, in games, whatever, wherever you're at. And hopefully we'll do that. And if so, I think we'll put ourselves in a good position to be playing our best basketball in February and hopefully on into March.
Yeah, you talk about bringing a bunch of folks back from last year, and among those is Aaliyah Fleming, who, even though you guys changed districts, probably going to be one of the quickest player in any district she's in.
No doubt. Aaliyah is a great athlete. She's really developed her jump shot. That's one thing that we challenged her to work on over the course of the summer. I mean, she can get to the rim. And she's really good in transition, but she needed to develop the jump shot. She's done that, and she's now developed into a multi-threat kid. She can step out and make the 3 now and take you off the bounce. And, we really depend on her greatly, especially in transition, because she's really good when she gets up and down.
A jump shot changes her game entirely, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, in the past, people have kind of, played her drive and played her transition game and really allowed her to get a look periodically. And if she can knock down the 3 and make people play her honestly, she's going to be real hard to handle.
Because when you come up on her, then she's going to...
Yep, she's going to drive to the bucket. And hopefully she can knock a few of those down and gain some confidence and carry that on into the year.
What do you like with her, around her?
Savannah C. obviously is our leading scorer coming back. She averaged about 10 points a ball game. She's back as a junior. I think she started every game since she's walked in the door here. So, she's very experienced. I think Aaliyah, if she hadn't started every game, it's awfully close. A lot of those kids, Riley Brooks, coming back for us, started a good majority of last year. We're going to kind of move her a little bit. She's kind of been a true 5 over the course of the years, and we're going to kind of make her a little bit more of a stretch 4 and let Kara Freeman be more of our 5 this year. She's developed her game on the perimeter to the level that, we feel like we can step her out a little bit this year and let her see what she can do and create a real strong matchup problem. 6'1" kid on the perimeter that can also post you can really create some problems for the defense. So, she's done a really good job of developing her game and diversifying her game over the course of the summer as well.
You mentioned first time in a while that you guys have been to back-to-back region tournaments. Girls basketball here at Independence, since I've been here, has struggled. What have you done, or what have you seen that changes that culture? Because clearly a culture change has taken place here at Independence.
Well, I think the expectations have to be consistent and have to be high. We talk about, having our standard, and are we playing to our standard, not necessarily our opponent's standard, but are we living up to and playing at the standard we want to do it? And we like discipline, accountability, and commitment. That's our 3 words that we live by. We want to be disciplined, we want to be accountable, We want to be committed to our program. And I think those 3 words really sum up how we've tried to approach the turnaround here. And the kids have bought in. They've been great. They've been accountable to us. They've wanted to put in the work. And hopefully we'll see some results here as we head into the new season here in 2023, 2024.
How much of an impact does the success of the boys team over the last couple of years have on your girls? They want to match that. They want to match that intensity, that level of success, and match, coming in the gym and it not being dead until the boys game.
I'd like to think that we would like to be at that level. I hope that that's our mindset. I think sometimes you have to experience a little bit of it on your own to have that belief that you can achieve at that level. And I think we need to have some success at the level that they are before we can totally buy into our being able to compete at the high level that our boys are. I certainly hope our girls are looking at that and going, hey, we want to do that. We want to be like that. We want to be where they are. I certainly hope that's our mindset as we head into this season and every season.
Tony, reclassification, realignment puts you guys in a new district, a new region. How does that impact the way y'all go about your business, or does it?
I think it's going to be fun. It's like it was when I was at Centennial. It's basically, we had Dixon County back in those days, but it's, the schools here that are in Williamson County. Of course, Fairview's not in there. They're a very good basketball team in their own right, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be packed houses. It's going to be very, very competitive. As I look at the girls' teams around the county, there's a lot of parity. There would be very few what I would call upsets. I think everybody could beat everybody on a given night. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to kind of throw back a little bit to the days back in like 14, 15, 16, 17 when it was Brentwood, Ravenwood, Franklin, those schools in a district. So I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Tony Hill, Independence girls basketball coach, checking in with us here on the Main Street Maury High School basketball preview. We'll have more when we come back. Welcome back to the Main Street Maury High School basketball preview show. We are visiting with Lawrence County girls basketball coach Wendy Scott. Coach, appreciate you taking some time with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely. First year back last year. This is your second stint here?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
What changed? What didn't?
Obviously, like the school, I'm used to the school, so it was an easy adjustment. A lot of the same administration was here. We've had some changes there, but last year it was about the same. So, there's a lot that's the same. Not a lot has changed really.
And now you had been on staff as an assistant coach prior to taking over the top spot. So the transition was probably pretty easy for you?
Yeah, I felt like it was a pretty easy transition. I already knew, the girls being there as an assistant coach, and then a lot of the girls I coached as they were growing up. So it's probably the easiest adjustment I've ever had, honestly.
What was it like? What is it like coaching your daughter?
That's something that I've always just, I guess, worried about and just struggled with over the years of whether that's something that I wanted to take on or not, just because I never wanted to take away from her experience. I never wanted to get in the way of her having the full experience with not having a mom as a coach, but it actually has turned out to be great. I've enjoyed every second of it. She's made it really easy on me. It's been a great experience that I'm very blessed to have been able to have this opportunity.
And it doesn't hurt that she can play, does it?
No, that helps a lot.
From last year to this year, and you guys are in a really tough district, a really tough region, but what are your expectations this time around?
Well, we want to be able to compete with everybody in our district, in our region, and that's something last year, that was a little bit different for us. Well, we played Livingston in the first round the year before too, and then last year, that's who we met in the first round, and they went on to the state championship game. So I just think it's important from one year to the next for them to get in there and battle with those teams, and just to help their confidence knowing that we can compete with them and, any given night that we could beat them.
Yeah, y'all's district changes composition a little bit this time around. You lost Spring Hill. You
Mm-hmm.
picked up Giles County, I
Mm-hmm.
think. I mean, what do you think about this district specifically
Well,
this time?
we lost Spring Hill, Page, and Lincoln. They all three moved out. It's just weird because Lincoln has and us have been in the same district forever, as long as I can remember. So it's going to be different. But we gained Central Magnet also from Murfreesboro and Giles County, and Franklin County's back in our district, which they had moved out for a couple of years. They're back.
Mm-hmm.
Our travel is going to be a little bit further. Last year was the best travel I've ever had in Lawrence County. Since I've been here, here with the school. But so our travel is a little bit further this year, district wise, and of course region wise. But I think it'll be strong and competitive in the both district and the region.
As you look at your team, your roster, what do you like? Who do you like? Who should we expect to hear about as the season progresses?
I've got 3 seniors that are coming back that have gotten some good experience over the past few years. JC Scott, Cami Pig, and Sadie Grace Cole. Sadie's out injured right now. She'll be back here in a few weeks. But then we got a good junior class, but they haven't had as much experience. Sophie Cole is a junior that got some really good experience last year. So I'm expecting big things from her this year. And we've got some other girls in that class. And then we've got sophomores and maybe even some freshmen that might get some minutes this year. So we're going to be a good balanced team. We're not big. We're small. But this team really gets after it. And I'm expecting a lot of people to pitch in and help. It may not just be, 1 or 2 people. It's going to take, everybody pitching in.
Been to a few games here at the Ralph, as they refer to it. Great gym, great atmosphere, always exciting. And it seems like there's always a theme to every ball game for the student body.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's got to be a lot of fun for you guys just playing in that environment.
It is. I mean, in my opinion, there's nothing like playing here. I mean, I've been to a lot of gyms all over Tennessee, and it is one of the best places that you can play with the best fan base. We have a strong fan base that follows us even to away games, and a student section who is always there and supportive, that has the theme every time. We've got our pep band that comes to the home games. We got new bleachers this year. So we're looking forward to a really fun season.
There it is. Lawrence County girls basketball coach Wendy Scott joining us here on the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. We'll have more after this. Welcome back to the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. We're visiting with Hall of Famer John Wild in his first year as girls basketball coach here at Santa Fe. Coach, first, thanks for taking some time with us. And second, what has the transition been like? We talked a few months ago as you took this job. You've been at Summit, Wilson Central, Franklin, Riverdale, and all of those places were significantly larger than this.
Well, I appreciate the job you guys do and appreciate y'all coming out and supporting kids. But, it was just, when I talked to Randy, it just seemed right. I started in a small school. All my kids went to a small school. Going back to my high school days and even college, I went to a small high school and a small college. So it's kind of something where I kind of wanted to end up this journey in, and it's been really good. Randy's been great. Jerry Potts been great. The faculty's been very welcome, and the kids have been really responsive in everything we've tried to do so far with basketball. So it's been a lot of fun.
3 state championships, is that right?
A lot of good players, a lot of good administrators.
Okay. This program has not had a whole lot of success, and you knew that coming in. When you come into a situation like what you've come into, what's the first objective in terms of trying to move things along?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think just intangible stuff, like can we compete hard every day in practice? Try to get kids in a role. Try to get them to be coachable. Try to let them be practice players first and develop skill, and as you move along, advance off that. I think all those little things. I think choose the hard stuff instead of the easy stuff. Sprinting hard every time when we're going to box out every time. Just stuff like that. All the intangible things, and then I think you can transition into the X's and O's after that. But you've got to do simple little things, intangible things right first. I think to kind of build a core foundation of really where you want to go after that.
And a lot of that, I would imagine, no disrespect to anybody else, was a little foreign.
Yeah, we've really tried to be simple. We've tried to talk about practicing hard. We've tried to be here. Before that, we talked about be here, show up, be here, physically be here.
The best ability is availability.
Yeah, correct. And practice hard. Be a great teammate. Cheer for your teammates. Live in your role. Stuff like that. But they've been sponges. They've tried to absorb a lot of stuff, and they've done a really good job thus far. And I think this team has potential. I think this team has potential probably later, because I think that they have bought in, and I think by the looks of it, they will continue to buy in. And I think we can do some stuff in February. It's going to continue to take a while, but we've got written in our locker room, 1% better every day, February. Try to get 1% better, and it's all about February. And y'all know that as long as you've done it here in Tennessee, it's a tournament game.
That's exactly right. It doesn't matter how many, it matters when, and that's the most important part. Now, obviously, coming here from Summit, as we compile the stat leaders every year. Last year, you had a deadly shooter in Quinn Johnston.
She's pretty good, wasn't she?
Quinn Johnston. You
couldn't convince her to come with you, huh?
You might have a pretty good shooter on this team too. Do you feel like you've got some secret weapons early in the year? Maybe.
Well, if he did, would he say it here?
So I think we've got some pieces, and the exciting thing is we're fairly young. Now, Anderson Slaughter's our point guard. She's a senior. She's done a really good job for us thus far. But outside that, Chaselyn Stewart didn't play at all last year. She's coming off an ACL, so she's really new. Nora Kate Butt is a sophomore that I think has got a chance when it's all said and done to be a really good player. Kendall Massey's a freshman that had a lot of success in middle school that is a really good shooter. And she can do some stuff off the bounce too that'll help us out. So, it's been fun, and like I said, I think there are some pieces there. Now we're not very big,
sure,
but I think we've got I think we've got good guards, and in girls, I'd rather have good guards.
Yeah,
and their skill.
You got to be able to handle the ball.
True, you're gonna get pressed.
It don't matter how big you are if you can't handle it and get it to them.
So, but I will say we're playing Harper Fitzgerald and Zoe Crutcher at the 5, and those kids compete. They will rebound. They're tough kids. So, they're not the biggest kids in the world, but I think with their tenacity and their intensity and their toughness, I think that covers up a lot of maybe the size that they don't have.
I thought you guys looked good. Just a little bit that we saw. I thought obviously practicing hard is what you're after, and they look good. I thought they looked really intense, and so you can't ask for much more.
Well, thank you. They've been coachable, and they've listened, and I think that's half the battle. And I try to talk to them about someday they're going to have a boss who's going to give them instructions, and they're going to have to listen, and they're going to do exactly what their boss tells them to do. So I said, I'm your coach. I make the decisions. You've got assistant coaches that make the decisions. Just listen, and we'll try to put you in the best possible situation for success that we can. And they've done a good job.
He's been pretty successful putting teams in good positions. 600-plus victories, like I said, 3 state championships, and I think a lot of people are going to be looking to see what John Wild does here at Santa Fe, and we're going to be keeping an eye on it as well. Appreciate you taking some time with us. Stay tuned for more.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. Maurice, Patton, Chris Yao, and we would say the hot seat, but we're not sitting on the hot spot.
We could do a
Yeah, Loretto girls basketball coach Ashley Rutledge in their new digs that they're very proud of.
Yeah.
This is nice.
We're excited. We're very proud of it.
Understandably so.
Yeah.
And I mean, as we were saying off air, you know, nothing, I won't say there's nothing wrong with the barn, but I mean, I like coming to the barn just for the character.
We love the barn, and we will still love the barn. And thankfully, we get to have both. But we're very excited and proud for this opportunity.
And again, these days, new gyms are usually antiseptic, devoid of any character. That's not the case here. You guys did a great job.
Thank you.
You know, and obviously with the success you guys have had, it makes sense to reward that success with something tangibly nice. And so how do you feel like this group of players you have this year work into, you know, look good, play good?
Well, you know, you touched on it a little bit. The tradition here is so rich. You know, it goes way back for Loretto girls basketball. We're really proud of that. But I think this group is special. We had a great summer, and like you said, look good, play good. We got new jerseys, new gym. So we got to step up and we got to play good.
Goodness gracious!
No pressure, right?
There's plenty of pressure to go around. There's no question.
New gym and new unis, huh?
Yes, these girls are going to look good. But these girls are special. They work hard, and it's nothing that they've just started working hard. This is something that's, you know, you hear me talk a lot about is the tradition in the youth leagues. These girls have been working their whole life. So it's not just hey, we're in high school, we're going to work hard. We're going to continue to do what they've been doing for years.
Tell us a little bit more about some of those girls.
Well, you know, you may know a few of these names. Allie Weathers.
We've heard of her.
You've heard of her a little bit. Jenny Clifton, who just signed a scholarship with Freed-Hardeman University.
Congratulations.
Yes. And we have Emily Kozar. You may know her for her lungs, and she starts out with that.
So will she be singing the national anthem for the opener?
She's got to. I don't know. We've not even officially asked, but I'm going to say right here she's got to.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
she can't say no, can she?
Right.
Not at this point.
No,
it's already there.
That's
yeah.
right. Well, those are three who probably contributed a lot as far as, you know, scoring and leadership. You know, we've got a lot of pieces to the puzzle this year.
I like Emily's game because she kind of does the dirty work. She kind of doesn't get a whole lot of attention, but fills a lot of holes, looks like.
Sure. She's a kid who can literally play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I'm saying? You look at her and think, no, she's a post. But no, she's got handles.
Keep thinking that.
Yeah, she's got handles, and she was out here shooting threes the other day. It was just knocking
them
bottom.
down.
I mean, I think she hit 10 in a row from that spot right there. So she's a kid that can do it all. And speaking of, like, you know, doing the dirty work, when I think of Allie Weathers, you watch her and think, man, she's good. But then you get on a stat sheet and realize she's involved in every defensive play, every offensive play. She's leading rebounder. She just does so much that you probably just don't catch by your eye. You go, man, she did a lot that game. And she's tough-nosed. I mean, she got to run through. If you watched her in volleyball season,
Mhm.
She ended up with this huge bruise on her elbow. I mean, she's diving for the ball. Of course, when she's diving, I'm like, oh, please, 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 no. But she's just one of those kids that like just puts it all out there. And like we said, Jenny Clifton, she can knock the bottom out of it, and she's quick as a cat. So.
Tips is probably happy to know that you feel that way about Allie, considering what he's got out on the football field from night to night. Dealing with that volleyball thing, and
Yes.
please don't get hurt.
Yes,
and that
yes,
kind of
we're
thing.
real proud of you, but please don't get hurt.
Yeah.
But
We love those multi-sport athletes.
oh yeah, and we have several, and one kid too that y'all may remember, Libby Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
She ended the season like she had 14 points and one night, and then couldn't walk and was in a wheelchair, and so she's coming back. She's worked really hard to get back, and with her 3-ball and conditioning, and really, we're just so blessed that she's going to be able to play, because there for a while we were really concerned about her.
Your district changes slightly this year. Only a 4-team district with Giles County moving out. How did that impact your schedule?
Well, we just had to get a little creative. We're actually going to get to host a tournament here for Christmas. So, we had to try to look. We've had problems picking people for our schedule for years. There's people who are full, or they don't want to travel. Yeah, full or don't want to travel all the way. Well, we can't travel all the way to Loretta, so we have to get creative. But we're pretty much full, so we're excited about this year's schedule.
Obviously, your season didn't end the way that you wanted it to last year. Tough loss. That being said, these girls, they know what it takes to get to a state champion or to the state tournament. How much motivation is that loss going into this season?
Tons. When we lost that game last year, I just kept thinking of, as a coach, you're sick for the kids. They're crying, they're upset, and you're like, man, this is hard. But in the back of my head, I was like, this is going to be the spearhead for next year. Because we actually were running side courts. Kids were getting tired on their knees. And I'm like, y'all remember how it felt to be in that locker room, to be so close. We're going to use this as motivation all year long. So absolutely, it'll play a big role in our season.
It's awesome. Loretta Lady Mustangs coach Ashley Rutledge joining us here on the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show when we come back. Well, welcome back to the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. Got a old face and a new place here with first-year Summit girls basketball coach Hal Merle. Now, for some of you folks, the last time you saw him, no socks.
Well,
we can't pick them up anyway, but
you're right. They'll be on game night.
How long were you at Columbia Central?
14 years.
14 years as
Yep.
boys basketball coach at Columbia Central. Took off, had since been at Forest
the last 2 years, and then at Dixon County
before that.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, welcome back.
Well, I appreciate it. It's exciting, and got a good group of girls I'm ready to get started with.
Well, and the thing is, even as you left the area from a coaching standpoint, you didn't leave as a resident. So
No.
This is closer.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm like probably 3.5 miles from the house. My daughter actually is a junior here. She's actually my basketball manager. I have a 7th grader at Thompson Station Middle, and she'll go to school here in a few years. So it's exciting. So first time in 31 years I've ever even been on the same calendar with them. It's always been close, like the holidays didn't line up, fall break didn't line up. So now we're on the same calendar, we're in the same building. And it was just an opportunity that I couldn't pass up.
Now, I guess we'll need to talk to them to see if that's good or bad, right?
I had a long conversation with my oldest girl about me coming here.
Because she was here first, right?
Yeah, she was here first. And her only concern was to make sure she could still drive to school and she didn't have to ride with me. That was her only concern.
Pretty big concern,
to
be honest with you.
For a 16-year-old, that was her only concern. So it's been good. It's been a great change.
That's great. A lot of times, Hal, when you take over a program, there are reasons that there's a change. Now, Summit wasn't as successful as they'd have liked to have been, but there's a lot here to work with.
There is. We've got 14 girls on the team. I would love to have more. We opened up tryouts. We didn't get the attendance that we wanted. But I've been reaching out to the feeder schools, Thompson Station Middle School, Spring Station Middle School, trying to get, the connection with the coaches back. They're actually going to have those girls come over here and play before our Hall of Fame game next Thursday. Thompson Station and Spring Station are going to play a kind of a scrimmage game against each other before we play that night, just to get them excited. We've got Quinn Johnston, who is a senior who just signed to play over in South Carolina at North Greenville College. Jaden Pittman is another senior. So we've got 2 returning seniors and a lot of underclassmen. 9 of our 14 girls are underclassmen. So, it's positive for the future. With that's going to be some growing pains this year. But I feel positive about the way the program's headed.
Quinn Johnston, how quickly did she catch your attention?
The funny part about that, when I was at Forest last year, we actually played Summit in a little Thanksgiving classic, if you will, over at Nolensville. So, I have seen her up close and personal on the other end of the bench. So it's a lot better knowing that she's shooting for me
than
at me. So she's an awesome kid. She works her tail off. The biggest thing for us this year, we're going to have to find somebody to take the load off her, because there's going to be 10 set of eyes on her every time she walks on the floor. And, we're going to need somebody else to take some of that scoring off her back. She's going to have to be able to set great screens, get herself open, because she's going to be garnering so much attention.
But it's a lot easier to get shots for her than try to get her slowed down, isn't it?
That is absolutely correct. Yes. So that's a good problem to have.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, one of the things that is interesting about Summit, and we mentioned this in the boys segment as well, but the type of kids you have here, they're not afraid to go to work. And to this point, have you seen that from your girls as well?
I have. When I got the job and we was talking with Darren Joins, this is probably it's the southernmost located school in the county. And it's not rural out here, but it actually does have a kind of a rural feel to it. The kids are here. We open the gym on Sunday for open gym. 3/4 of my teams are in here. If they're not here, the girls are at a training somewhere, or they're playing softball somewhere. The girls that are in our program are extremely active. And if it's not just in basketball, they're involved in other sports, which is very important. I want these girls to do as many things as they can. They only get this opportunity one time, and the more sports they can play, the more well-rounded they are going to be. But yes, they have been working their tails off through preseason weight training, preseason conditioning. And, we've got a little scrimmage game today and a play day Saturday, and they're ready to go. They've put in the work, and now it's to kind of see, what's going to happen today, and we're excited about it.
And, you talk about the different sports that some of your athletes participate in. How does that bear out in here?
I think with any sport, they complement each other somehow, some way. With volleyball, unfortunately, we don't have any of the volleyball players playing when we need them all, because they're all like 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". But the softball players, hand-eye coordination is unbelievable. I shouldn't say that. Quinn did play volleyball. We've got some girls who have played soccer. Their conditioning is unbelievable. And I think our hand-eye coordination, our footwork, takes over and goes into other sports.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime that a kid can do multiple things, hear a different voice, be involved with different girls, it gives them a break from what they were doing, and then their batteries kind of get recharged, and they come back, they're ready to go even harder.
And something that you're finding here that you've probably not found anywhere else, you got some flag football players.
We do, and I've actually hit some of them up, if nothing else, just for the athletic mindset that they would bring to the table.
Physicality.
The physicality, you can't coach and teach athleticism. The girls who are on the flag football team are quick, they're athletic, and that's something that you can't teach, and we would love to have some of that.
It's gonna be an exciting season, because again, this district is very unique in that it's just kind of
right.
It's your family. It's Williamson County. It's kind of just you.
And we were talking a minute ago about it. Columbia, there's nothing to hop on the bus and be gone for an hour and a half to Franklin County, Coffee County, and now you could play a whole schedule and never leave this county. Which is nice. That is very nice.
Yeah, you gotta love that.
He's back. Summit Girls Basketball Coach Harold Merle joining us here on the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. We'll have more after this. Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show continues as we visit with first-year Zion Christian girls coach Doug Kennedy. Doug, appreciate you taking some time with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Very glad to be here.
Yeah. Been a little turnover in your position with this program. How much of a concern was that for you as you took this on, and how big of a concern has it been since you've, kind of taken the program over?
It's always a concern when you have a lot of coaching turnover, and that's part of the reason I took the position. Is that years ago I kind of was an assistant coach here and helped Ron Gleaves when he was coaching. So had two daughters that went through the program, and both of them have moved on to college and doing other things. And so two boys playing basketball, and I felt like this was a time that I could come in and maybe add a little stability to the program. Obviously, the coaching turnover has limited our numbers, and that puts a little bit of a strain on the program. But I feel like that the girls we have are working hard and they're making progress, and I think that's going to be a good thing to help us build for the future.
How many girls do you have?
We have 9 girls on the varsity right now, and we hope to have a few of the 8th graders move up once their middle school season finishes.
So you're feeling encouraged by those numbers, I would guess.
Yes, so we've got a few girls who are new to basketball, but they've come in, they've been energetic, and they're excited about being here. And then we've got one senior, Riley, coming back, and so she's excited about finishing out her career here at Zion. And then we've got a few other girls that I think are going to really add to the program. And I feel like that we're in a position for the program to just grow and get better over the next few years. And so I'm excited about what the future holds for us.
That senior Riley Rummage is who you're talking about,
Yes,
right?
sir. That's correct. Riley Rummage.
Now, what does she play, and what does she give you all on the floor?
So we're going to have a mixture of guards. So, we're going to kind of just, get up and down the floor some. And so she'll play some point guard, some off guard, a little bit of wing. She gives us a lot of toughness and energy. And, then she's going to be, doing a lot of shooting, hopefully knock some 3-pointers down, do a little penetrating for us. So,
you guys left the PSSAA a couple of years ago. You're competing in the TSIAA now. Softball team has had a lot of success over there, won 2 state championships. How does that success kind of bleed over with your girls basketball, or how do you hope it does? Because I would imagine y'all are kind of sharing some athletes.
Yeah, so, the softball program is really, their success has caused other girls to want to come in to the school. And then, we've got a few of those that are helping us out on the basketball team. So it's nice getting a few more athletes in, and then we can get them playing. And, so we've got a few volleyball players and a few softball players and a couple soccer players and then a couple basketball players. And, we're hoping over time that we have a little more, basketball players predominant, but, all of that has helped us. And, the TSIAA is a league right now that where our program is, that, we can be competitive in games. And I think that helps our program grow because the girls can go out, get a good experience and be competitive and then learn to develop for the future.
Besides Riley, who are some other folks that we should expect to hear about?
So Marley is coming back. She'll be a junior this year.
Marley McWilliams?
Marley McWilliams, okay. Yes. And so she's going to be a big player for us. She's got a lot of energy, puts a lot of effort in on defense, good at passing, getting the ball in, getting people, all involved in the offense. She can score, play defense, so she's going to do a lot for us. We got a sophomore, Jacqueline, who is little tall, thin, a little bit skinny, but she's really working out with Coach Bethard in the weight room and trying to get stronger. And I feel like she's going to add a lot of rebounding. And then, she's working on her jump shot, going to knock some jump shots down for us. And then we've got a couple freshmen coming in that I think are going to help us out, with energy and defense, and hopefully some girls who can put the ball in the basket.
Putting the ball in the basket is what it's all about.
Yes.
Hey, first-year girls basketball coach Doug Kennedy here at Zion Christian, joining us on the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. We'll have more here in a bit. Stay with us.
Hey, welcome back to the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show. I'm Maurice Patton. That's Chris Yao, the man in the middle, Summertown girls basketball coach Jeremy Jean. And Jeremy just got done with a practice.
Yeah.
How's things looking, man?
Okay. We got to get healthy. That's the biggest thing. Got kids banged up right now that will play when it comes time. So that's our biggest thing is getting healthy. On the positive side of that, other kids have to step up and get more reps right now. So we should be deeper than we were last year. So it's a good thing.
You finished the year last year with some health issues.
Yes.
Starting the
One
year this
particular.
year with some health issues.
Yes.
It's not great.
It's not great. Last year we ended region semis, had 2 girls go down same game. Then this year, Abby's come off of ACL. She's way ahead of schedule. Not shocked that she's able to do it. I'm just shocked that anybody could do it in less than 6 months. So hopefully next week she'll be clear to fully go.
Wow.
Then we got Rue that's got shoulder issues right now. So once that gets figured out, when she'll be back. We got Riley Blackwood Jr. rolled her ankle playing kickball the other day. So we've been working out, going hard, and have a nice day. So we'll play kickball, and she ran in second, gets halfway to third, rolls her ankle. So no more fun for us.
Okay, but did she? But did she get there?
No, she didn't make it. She got halfway and she collapsed. So no more fun.
When we talk about multi-sport athletes at Summertown, I wasn't considering kickball.
No, you're right.
It wasn't on the list.
No, that's not, but it is now.
Well, here's the thing, though. Summertown competes in whatever they're playing, including kickball.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah.
Tiddlywinks, it doesn't matter.
But you're right. And that's the thing about these girls. They are competitive with each other, which makes our practice better. And that's a good thing with this place.
When we spoke with Coach Long, we talked about the Summertown standard, Summertown expectation. You guys went out in the sectionals last year. Like you said, lost in the region semis. No, won in the region semis. I'm sorry, lost in the region finals, and then went on the road.
Yeah.
So is this a bounce back type year for you guys? I mean, how do you characterize things this year?
I think it's a different team. Our goal every year is to state tournament, and then when you get there, hopefully luck goes your way and you get a chance to win it. But I do think they feel like they had something to prove because we were playing the best last year. Like we were playing really, really well, and 2 kids go down, go to Westview, and they'll miss a free throw, shoot 58% from the field, make 7 threes, and we still lose by 10. So one of those games where we played well, and they were really, really, really good. So I think they have a chip on their shoulder and want to come out and prove something.
Well, that is exactly what you want.
If
you are a coach, you want them to have some motivation, and obviously this team clearly has not only motivation to win, but motivation to get healthy and to be as successful as other teams. So, what do you think this team's character is right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they gritty be the word I describe them. We're not very big. Have some big kids, but overall we're not very big. But they get after you. Defensively, they get up in you and do the dirty things to win ball games.
There's no longer a automatic
bucket in the middle
on the block necessarily.
Right. Abby would get there.
Yeah, sure.
We had a little practice last night with one. You could tell she's been out for 5 months. Once she gets back healthy
and conditioned,
she'll be able to score down there well. We have Hannah Jones played well in last night. We got Bailey, the 6'3" freshman. So
okay, you'll take that.
As the year goes, we're going to get better and better and better. So
how important? I mean, at this level, at the Class A level, that's almost unheard of. Two girls that size down low is pretty great to have.
It is, unless you're Wayne County, they're all 6 foot.
Well,
so but yeah,
sure,
it does help. But again, we got our guards play bigger than they are. They don't know they're 5'7".
And you're not telling them.
I'm not going to tell them. But that's the thing. We have senior guards that can play. That's played for 2 years. That's had to step up in big games and make shots. So I think we have the leadership, and we're gritty. So I think we'll be fine once it gets rolling. It may be ugly at first, but once we get healthy, I think we'll be fine.
I want to talk a minute more about this 6'3" freshman.
Yeah, well,
because I mean that's when you talk about your guards aren't that big and that kind of thing. 6'3",
yes,
and young is kind of nice.
It is, and that's the thing. We didn't get her till school started. If we had her in summertime, it'd have been better for her to get acclimated to us and understand how we play, and the girls get acclimated with her. So it's gonna be a positive once we get rolling.
Going to be a positive. It's just what everybody else wants to hear when it comes to Summertown girls.
No.
Jeremy Jean joining us here on the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show.
Hey, thanks for joining us here on the Main Street Maury High School Basketball Preview Show for girls. And look forward to seeing you in a gym real soon. Be sure and visit mainstreetmaury.com for all of our high school basketball coverage, boys and girls. We will have game stories. We will have feature stories. We will have our stat leaders. What else will we have?
Box
scores,
which is huge.
It is huge. I think we're one of the few folks doing it.
Yeah.
But
So if you wanna-
even for games that we don't necessarily have someone at, you will still be able to see who won, who scored, how the game went, that kind of thing. We're really excited, really proud of that because we put a lot into it. So again, be sure and visit mainstreetmaury.com for all of that coverage and see us in print on Wednesdays. Again, we'll see you soon.